Hello there, grumpy old fart here. I'm doing an advanced Dungeons and Dragons story on the Necromancer Druid. Yeah, and advanced Dungeons and Dragons, they didn't have that. For those of you who don't know, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since 1976. I started running them in the games in 1979, 1980, something like that. I've met and played with a ton of really great people. I've met and played with some crackpots, weirdos, and I really can't say nothing about people being weird because I'm about as weird as they come. But a lot of the people that I played with are really great BS artists. I mean, they're really great at it. But none of them could surpass the sheer unadulterated stupidity of the guy who wanted to run a necromancer druid. Now I'm gonna call this guy Chris. It's not his real name, but I'm gonna call him Chris. This guy wanted to play. His wife played, and she was okay. And I said sure. So because anytime somebody wants to actually play, you say yes and try to guide him as best you can. He wanted to play a druid. He said he knew all about him, but he had never actually played one before. And I was like, sure, no problem. If you're not familiar with druids, I did a video on them. They're the ultimate survivors, I think I called it. Essentially, a druid is a priest of nature. First thing that he got upset about was he had to start at first level. And everyone basically was at first level. We had a new group, and they were starting at first level, so he insisted... he wanted to play a high-level druid automatically, and you can't do that. Especially if you've never run one before. And if you're new to the game, starting at high level is not cool. You start at the beginning and work your way up. He insisted that these druids could raise the dead and create undead, even at first level. And druids don't do that. They just don't do it. He insisted that druids were in the Bible and that their powers were clearly defined in the Bible. He insisted that dragons served druids, and even at first level, and he demanded a dragon mount, a dragon to ride around at first level. And he said that was in the Bible. He insisted that druids were blessed by all gods and therefore had all powers of all the gods in the book. And I couldn't take it anymore. I finally asked him, I said, I shut all that down. I asked him, I said, dude, have you read the Bible, honestly? Because I have, and that shit's not in there. He got very angry. It just escalated after that. And during the course of the game, he insisted on his character digging a ditch. Something that, if you've ever dug a ditch, you know it takes a while. He wanted a trench 4 feet wide by about 6 foot deep, and he wanted it about a half a mile long. That is a hell of a ditch, especially if you're digging it alone. A person with a shovel can dig, but, it's going to take a while. And I told him it would take a while. I said it was going to take a long time for him to do this because he's one person with a shovel, And, of course, he said, yeah, I can do this. Okay, great. So while he's digging, I'm dealing with the other players because if you're running a game, the time has to add up. So while this guy is digging a ditch, the other players can do other things. So I was working with them, and I would come back to him occasionally and say, okay, you're still digging a ditch. Do you want to do anything else? He'd go, no, I'm just digging a ditch. Okay, fine. So he's digging a ditch. And finally, about the third time, I came back to him and I said, okay, you're still digging a ditch. Are you going to do anything else? And he said, no, I'm going to go home. And he got up and he left. He got mad because, I've got 7 players and he wants to dig a ditch and he wants my total attention the whole time. I couldn't do it. It wouldn't happen. But he got mad and he left and we never had to deal with him anyway, so worked out all right. Like I said, I've played this game for a long time. I've played with a lot of great people. I've made a lot of really great friendships. I'm even friends with a lot of the crackpots. Because even if they didn't work out in the game, they're still not bad people. They're just kind of, And then there's people like Chris. So, yeah. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.